one of the first things I'd like to do is put in a website at the bottom here, joytoourworld.space. Now, I know that I have mentioned this before, but there seems to be a little confusion going on between what's happening on that website and what this activation meditation is all about. So I just wanted to take 2 minutes just to clarify that for those of you that might be kind of confused on that. Joytoourworld.space is a website that there were 12 of us that started that last January, so almost a year ago we started that. And we were very guided by the Heathers to put that together. It's a high consciousness website. So every month the Heathers have suggested a word or phrase that is high consciousness and then asked us all to start sharing either words or prose or poetry or thoughts or videos or whatever that are in alignment from that and from our hearts. And as you can imagine, as the year went on, people get, we're all really, really busy. So I'm constantly hearing from people that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I haven't had a chance to get caught up yet. But there are lots of offerings on that site. This month, the topic is truth. So I just want you to check it out if you haven't already. It's free. All you have to do is put in your email address, and I don't do anything else with that. I might email you from time to time, but do check that out. That is a separate entity from what our activation meditations are. So, but that came first. That came in January when there were just 12 of us, like I said, doing some things with the Heathers. And then the Heathers said, we really need to grow, we need to expand. And so that's what created these activation meditations that I'm truly honored to bring to you because they're near and dear to my heart. It's a free will offering. I don't get paid for this. You don't get paid for showing up. We're just all out here to help change the world in whatever way we can. So this month, the meditation, that theme is inspired action. So you can see where maybe there is some confusion because the themes don't coincide from the Joy to Our World space to what we're doing in our meditations. But if you've been following the last 6 meditations, you probably have an understanding of how we arrived at, or how the Heathers have arrived at inspired action. Many of you have been just receiving downloads and huge pieces of information that have been instrumental to you. I hear from you. I hear these wonderful emails. I read these wonderful emails. I'm just in awe of the things that many of you are just a party to and experiencing as a result of opening up your heart to the Heathers and to your highest destiny, whatever that might be. So some of you are in the midst of like great change, or at least being guided along the way of great change. And for some of you, it just is maybe more diet and exercise and along the lines of personal development. But for others, it's about changing relationships or changing careers or even moving to a different place in the country or in the world. And those are huge changes. But this is what happens as we start to engage from a state of love and to raise our consciousness. So when we begin to raise our consciousness, what happens is you start noticing more divine synchronicities. So what do I mean by divine synchronicities? Well, those are those magical moments that you just know you would not have made it up. And it's just almost too real to be believed. And it's the kind of thing that just makes you shake your head and go, oh my goodness, that is truly amazing. Now, a divine synchronicity can be somebody walking up to you on the street and saying something that you're just thinking about. I mean, it could be like that. Or it could be that you're thinking about moving and somebody walks up and says, well, I'd love to buy your house, or it could be that you are in the midst of looking at different careers and somebody says, hey, I'm looking to add a new person to my business and I think you'd be perfect for it. Those are the kinds of things that I mean by divine synchronicities, where you didn't make it up, you couldn't have engineered it, and it just is like the universe landing you something in your lap that is so perfect and so divine, you just go, oh my goodness. So, divine synchronicities are one of the ways you know that you are raising your consciousness. Another way that you know when you're raising your consciousness is that you're attracting more people that are loving and kind and really also want to make a difference in the world. Maybe not exactly the way you are, but in a similar fashion, so that there's this instant recognition, if you will. It's easier to stay in a state of joy and to be empowered and to feel good about yourself when you're in a higher state of consciousness. These are just a few examples of what some of you are going through, but it's really been a profound shift for many of you. And I congratulate you for sticking with these meditations and following through and going with it wherever you are guided to go, because you know in your heart if it's right for you or not. And that's, our heart is our best barometer, right? So tonight's topic of inspired action is directly following all these guidance for changes that are coming into all of our lives. And so, inspired action is when you actually do make that move across country, or you actually do quit your job and start something new for you, or you are maybe training for a half marathon and you never thought you could ever do more than 2 miles. It's that kind of thing. So, inspired action, of course, will look differently for different people. But here's the thing that happens with inspired action. We get that aha moment that says, okay, it's time for change. Let's take a look at all the changes we're going to make. And it feels so exciting and it feels so wonderful. And then we start entertaining the thought of actually doing that. And that's when the fear can kind of creep up. I mean, we all have it, right? Especially the bigger the change, the bigger the fear is going to come up. And really, what is fear? When you take a look at it, it's merely your brain trying to keep you safe, because the brain can engineer so many things that say, oh, what if this happened? Or what if that happened? Or, last time you did something different, it wasn't really pretty, and we don't want to do that again. And some of these fears are this lifetime related, and some are past life related, and it really doesn't matter where they come from. The thing is, when you start recognizing that fear, you may allow it to hold you back. And that's the one thing that the Hathers would really like to help you with tonight, is to clear fear so that it doesn't hold you back from taking your inspired action, because it's that inspired action that will help you to continue to raise your consciousness and continue to live, as we're going towards our highest destiny. I don't know, maybe you're already there, but for many of us, it's a path, it's a journey, and we're not there yet. And fear would be one thing that could hold us back. So the Hathers would like to help us clear the fear so that we can take that next baby step, no matter how big the baby step is, no matter where it's going to take us, no matter where we're going on our journey, just as long as we're on our way. So there's really two things that are going to be happening tonight as we're working with the Hathers. One is you'll probably feel some level of clearing or healing, or, you may not even have words for it like that. It may just feel like something's going on. Sometimes it's an energetic feel, and sometimes it's more of a tingling. Sometimes it's cold pricklies or warm whatever. It can be different for everybody. So just allow it to be what it is for you, and know that that's the first step that's happening, regardless of how you are experiencing that. some of you will have some instant recognition of what your fear is really all about. You may have an understanding of why you're holding that or feeling that or experiencing that. Or you may have some other recognitions or insights and awarenesses that help you to say, but that's not what I'm choosing. I'm choosing that inspired action. So when you have those insights and awarenesses, they really help you to move faster and farther through the fear, through whatever might be holding you back, so that you can step into your inspired action. Now, I noticed that I said, well, what came through me were the words baby steps. And I really like that phrase because that helps me to see the action in more of a tiny way and not so big and momentous. Like when I moved across country for the first time and I was giving away everything and selling everything and just, moving with just a handful of boxes, I was scared to death to do that. But, it all began with one little baby step of saying, okay, I can do this. Let me just pack up the boxes that I want. I'll find a way to get there in a van. I had to go rent a van. I'll arrive. It was just baby steps. The angels helped me to find a place to live. They helped me to find a place to work out of. They even brought to me my partner right after I moved here. So baby steps. It doesn't have to be huge, monumental shifts that you have to do right now or that, you have to do next week or anything like that. Baby steps will get you there. And all it is one step at a time until you are where you thought you wanted to be. And who knows, maybe you'll go even further. Maybe you'll have even richer experiences than you ever dreamed, which has always been my case when I have acted on my inspired action. It's always been 10 times better than what I dreamed possible. I invite you to hold that in your heart as well, for that opening for all things better and even more miraculous than what you can even imagine right now. Now, I know that I said two things. We're going to clear the fear and we're going to understand the baby steps, but there's actually a third thing that's going on too that the Hathers are sharing with each individual personally, and that's some more information on your highest destiny. Because every time you are guided to inspired action, it's always in alignment with your highest destiny. And again, you may know what that is, or you may have a suspicion of what that is, or you may just be saying to yourself, I don't know exactly, but I think I'm on my way. All of those are perfect. And even if you're having doubts about whether you know or not, don't worry about it. The Hathers will help you to have that understanding when it's right for you. And remember, because we're starting everything with love, their language is one of love. So it's coming into your heart, which is not the same linear understanding as the brain is. So it comes into your heart and you feel it, you know it, you sense it, but you're not necessarily having those same words for it, but the words will come. The words will come in their perfect and divine timing, and when you are ready to hear them. Not before, but when you are ready for them, that's when they'll come. So just know you're going to get another chunk of information that's going to be really helpful to help you live your highest destiny when you are ready for that. And when all the people, players, and settings and circumstances are all lined up in their perfect format for you to be able to step full on into it. So, inspired action doesn't have to be terrifying. It's just that our old programming comes up first to kind of warn us that something could be really scary. So, we're going to clear the fear, receive more information on our inspired action, on our baby steps to inspired action, and then also receive more information on our highest destiny whenever that information needs to come through. So I'm going to be pretty quiet throughout much of this time, but that's okay because that allows you to be receiving much more. At the end of our meditation, I'm going to let you know that, let me back up. We're going to start from that place of love with the Hathers so that you can really greet each other in a heartfelt way and to receive that information in the best way possible. Then I'm going to turn you loose to have your big adventure, to clear your fear, to get more insights and awarenesses on your inspired action and your highest destiny. At some point, I'll let you know that the Hathers have let me know that it's all complete for now, but I'm going to invite you to stay in that place for a little bit longer so that you can integrate and begin to take in the words and the understandings that you are ready for. And then at the very end, I'll play the Tibetan bowl, the Zen bowl, 3 times so that you know we are complete for tonight. I thank you so much for being a part of this. And I just want you to know what a difference you are making in this world just by showing up, whether you're showing up live or whether you are listening to the recording. That doesn't matter because time is not linear. It's that you are showing up. Thank you for that. Thank you for making the world a better place. It is gratefully received by all. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to turn off my video and we'll get started. Okay, excellent. Let's just kind of get settled wherever you're sitting. Some of you like to lie down when you're listening to this, and that may be okay even if you fall asleep, because we're really working with a heart language. And the heart language, as I said, doesn't really have a linear language, and it's almost easier to take it in to your heart when you are sleeping. So it's okay if you do fall asleep. You will remember everything you need to when it's in its perfect and divine timing. So the most important thing is just to get comfortable for now in a position that you don't mind holding for maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes. Just allow your breathing to become slow and rhythmic at a rate that works for you. And as you're slowly inhaling and slowly exhaling, your body is gently just kind of falling into a rhythm that's much more peaceful, much more calm. It is a rhythm of transformation. It's a rhythm of meditation. It's a rhythm that your body is really getting used to for being on these calls so much, that just kind of triggers relaxation and change. And just let that breathing become slower and slower until you don't even have to think about it. It just falls into the rhythm that's perfect for you. From this place, I invite you to turn your awareness to your heart space. That place, that energetic place that's right behind your physical heart. Everyone has one. And everyone knows automatically where that place is. So as you turn your awareness there, I invite you to begin thinking and feeling those feelings of unconditional love. Sometimes we have to think about it first. So maybe remembering a relationship in which you felt unconditional love. Maybe it was with a two-legged, or maybe it was with a four-legged, or a different type of animal that maybe has wings, or it could be a fish or a chicken or something like that. Just really feeling that to the best of your ability. Or maybe you had a really big epiphany with spirit. And it was so profound, so amazing. It was almost beyond human understanding. And it changed you for forever. Maybe you were in nature, like all alone, but feeling really safe and happy. And all around you were these life forms, trees and flowers and bushes and animals and birds and water. Oh, it just went on, and you felt so connected to all life everywhere. These are just some of the ways in which we can step into that unconditional love. And if you have your own way, I invite you to just use that, whether you're saying a mantra or whatever it takes to put yourself into that place of love. And the thing about love is that when it comes in, it just keeps coming in and coming in and coming in. There's no denying it. So it comes into your energetic heart space and it fills it up completely and spills over into your physical body. And as it's filling up your physical body from the bottom to the top, it's also healing any physical wounds or hurts that you might have, past ones, current ones, filling you all the way up to the top and spilling over with unconditional love into your energetic physical space, which is the memory of these wounds and the memory of these hurts, whether it's from this lifetime or any others. And so as that is filling up and healing with unconditional love, it spills over into the emotional layer, which is where we hold on to our hurt feelings or our all kinds of wounds in our emotional layer. And that love is healing those as well, even those really hard ones. And that love is just filling you all the way to the top and spilling over now into the mental layer. And filling you with unconditional love and healing all mental belief systems that don't work for you. Ones you're aware of, ones you have yet to be aware of. The beliefs that really are truly not us. So just allow those belief systems to be healed as well, as you are filling up with unconditional love and now spilling over into your spiritual layer. And your spiritual layer holds the record of all of your lifetimes and your goals and your aspirations, and anything that needs healing from those lifetimes is now included in this love, as it completely fills you up and surrounds you with this wonderful cotton wool of unconditional love. Just really feeling that, knowing that, sensing that, and being that. You could think of this place of being as your highest good and highest healing, where we don't really know what that means until it happens, but we always recognize it when it happens. And it's different for everyone. And as you're holding that love in your heart and throughout all your being, you might notice that you have 1, 2, 3, maybe several Heathers that are simply waiting to connect with you. And what they do first is they send you love. They send you that unconditional love. So you are feeling that heart-to-heart connection. It's like a heart recognition, if you will. So allow yourself to take that in and really feel that and sense who all is here to connect with you tonight. Whether they give you names or not is really irrelevant. It's more that you are sensing their energy and sensing their essence. And when you're ready, you can send that love right back to them and know that they're gratefully receiving that and taking that in and even amplifying it before they send it right back to you again. So that this time when it comes to you, it's like, woo, now it's an even bigger wave. It feels so profound and it moves all the way through you. And you're really feeling that heartfelt connection. And when you're ready, you can send it right back to them one last time, knowing that they're receiving it, knowing they're taking it in, knowing that they're amplifying it, and sharing it with you one more time. This wave of love is the primary connection for our highest destiny and for all things that are miraculously possible. So remembering that the first thing that they're probably going to be doing with you is to help clear any fear or clear anything that might be in your way of receiving and understanding your inspired action and living your highest destiny. So I'll be really quiet while you are receiving whatever it is that they're sharing with you tonight. And in the way of the Hathors, it's never painful or traumatic when they're helping you to clear fear or anything else. It's all done with love. So just allow yourself to receive whatever you are meant to receive at this time. And even if you're not quite complete with the clearing yet, some of you are ready to move on to the next step, which is to receive more information on your inspired action. Baby steps. Remember, it's all in safe little baby steps that are doable and not overwhelming. It does not have to be done by next week. There's not a rush on this. This is in its perfect and divine timing for each and every one of you. Remembering that you're receiving this through heart language. It may not be a linear language for a while yet, and that's okay. Just allow yourself to receive. And remembering that your inspired action is tied in with your highest destiny. You may not know everything about your highest destiny. You may have some glimmers or some glimpses, but you may not. And that's okay. It's a journey. And know that you are on your way because you're here, because you're open to it. But if there's anything that you need to know right now, you will be receiving that. And we have about a minute more. Taking a moment to just begin integrating all that you've taken in tonight. Namaste.